to Jeanette's kitchen. We are here today to learn how to cook like a Kenyan, or at least we're going to learn how to make chapatis. Fun fact about chapatis: the Indians brought this amazing food to Africa hundreds of years ago, or
Yes.
do we know when it came? But I mean, India has had record of chapatis since like the 1500s, so they've been making it for a long time. And you said they were interested in what? In East Africa?
East Africa spices, all kind of spices from cardamom, cinnamon, all that. That's what they were. That's how they got interested to Africa, and they came and lived there, and they introduced the Africans to chapati. 3 cups flour and 2 spoons of sugar and 1 of salt. And the sugar is optional. It all depends on what you're going to eat the chapati with. So sugar is optional. Salt is not optional. You do a pinch of salt.
Right. So right now we've got Jeanette making a gluten-free chapati mix. Because so many of us here in Seattle, especially, are gluten-free. We want to see if it's going to work. We haven't done this before, right, Jeanette? So this is an experiment.
It's a flat pan bread that is used mostly for a meal, but you can also use it for breakfast instead of bread.
Delicious. And what are we putting in right now?
Some olive oil, a spoon of olive oil. Yes, and I made some chapatis that were very hard. Like normally chapatis should be very soft and layered and fluffy. But you can tell somebody who's trying to learn how to cook by just how hard it will be. Like it will be like crackers. Crack it.
Is that like too much flour? Does it get cooked in the right way?
Cooked in the right way, but maybe you miss out on some steps. Like letting it sit for some time before you start cooking it.
Oh, if you let it sit too long, it gets hard.
No, if you don't let it sit.
Okay, that helps it be soft.
Yes.
All right.
You let it sit.
You have to have patience for this recipe.
Yes.
Good things come to those who wait. Or I suppose this gives the cook time then to make the sauce.
Yes.
To prepare the meat.
Exactly. That's what happens. You skip to where you start making the sauce and everything. Then you go back to your chapati when you're done with all the sauce and everything.
Okay.
Yeah. I cut the dough into balls, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put oil and wrap it around and let it sit. Then from there, that's when I'll use the pin to spread it out and put it in the pan. Okay, so the reason why I'm doing that is to make sure when I put it on the pan, it gets done in the middle and outside, because there's some oil in the middle, so it will burn the percentage of so it gets slightly hot, and so it cooks inside, and besides that it makes it more soft. And I'll show you once I make the chapati other reasons to why. I'll show you. We'll look at it together.
So interesting.
Wow.
And the oil, you can use butter. You can use coconut. I normally use coconut sometimes. Coconut oil is very good, makes it very soft. But mostly in Kenya, we'll use just the vegetable shortening. We don't have all these options. So we have just the shortening that we buy, or ghee. Okay, what we normally have is we have a wooden thing like a cutting, but it's all round.
Okay.
And normally, because also you don't have a counter, so just having the wood that will not help. The wood will have stand. and then you put it on something. You place it on something. So it's a small thing that has 3 legs, and then all round shaped. Something just like wood cutting.
And for a rolling pin?
Yeah, a rolling pin just like this.
Just like that.
Yes. One in Ukambani, wood is we have a lot of very good craving of wood. We do a lot of carvings and all that in wood. So wood will be like the best thing. Yeah, you'll find it back.
And very common.
Yes, and very common. Back in Kenya, you can cook it a day before because of where you're going to store it and all that. But when I'm here, I normally just throw them in the freezer and microwave them the following day. They are as fresh as, But in Kenya, no. And secondly, that good scent of the food. No one wants to just fill the house smelling and not eating.
Not happen.
Yes. So we can't hold ourselves that long.
Yeah.
That is a dish you'll never miss in a Kenyan home if you have guests, if you have a celebration. This is a main course.
Right.
How you can do a party without chapati.
So it's a festive dish.
Yes, it is. Whoops. So with chapati, what we normally eat it with is a beef stew or a chicken stew, and some greens, some collard greens, or a cabbage.
Okay.
So you always have to make the chapati, you make the beef stew, and some greens.
Yeah, on the side.
On the side. Some people put it on the chapati. Most people don't. They want to feel the flavor of the chapati separately. And I'll show you one thing I was talking about the chapati and why I rolled it with oil. So you want to get the chapati and see it having this. Like most people will eat it that way. Like they want to, you see? Yeah,
They want to rip it open.
Open, yeah. The fluffiness,
Flaky.
that's exactly what people like. Yeah, and that's what the oil does.
Inside.
Yes.
And that's what makes it different from a tortilla.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't possibly do this with a wrap or a tortilla.
Exactly.
It would just, you rip it open, there's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But here you rip it open and it's like the inside, again, we're talking about a croissant, right? Like you have the oil inside has now made it very flaky.
Yes.
Wow.
So that's exactly what. So if you serve me, I want to have my chapati and taste the chapati by itself, then eat it with greens and whatever.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And sometimes what we normally do is you cut your chapati, roll it properly, go to the beef stew, add the greens, wrap it together, then eat. Yeah.
I hope you've enjoyed learning how to make chapatis with Jeanette. She makes it look so easy. I'm gonna have to practice away from the camera. I can speak for myself. But it smells really good. We're all ready to taste these once we have some other food to eat it with. Thank you so much, Jeanette. This was amazing.
Thank you so much.
Oh, that's good.
Very
and I think
good.
the little bit of sugar was a nice addition. Oh, that's flaky. Thank you.